today's meditation is nothing more suitable. And a quick explanation of what Catholic mental prayer, or some people call it meditation, some people call it a devotional. What it is simply a process of reflecting on a scripture reading or a quote from a holy person. Today we're going to be doing a quote from a saint, but what you do is you just ask God to enlighten you, and then you read the passage over a number of times, and then you resolve to change your life in some particular way. So that's what we're going to do here, and it is guided for you, so all you have to do is follow along. The quote is from St. Augustine. There was no other more suitable way of healing our misery than by the passion of Christ. Now let us say our prayer before meditation. My God, I firmly believe that Thou art everywhere present and seest all things. Cleanse my heart from all vain, wicked, and distracting thoughts. Enlighten my understanding and inflame my will that I may pray with reverence, attention, and devotion. So now we're going to reflect on the quote for a short time while we read it over a few times if we need to kind of be reminded of what the quote is about. But now is just a time to sit quietly and think about this quote right here. There was no other more suitable way of healing our misery than by the passion of Christ. All right, so next we are going to sit quietly and consider this question. What makes you miserable? So sit for a few moments with this quote and think about what right now is making you miserable, or what in the past has made you miserable. Here's the quote again. There was no other more suitable way of healing our misery than by the passion of Christ. So right now, we're going to sit quietly for a few moments and consider what is currently or in the past had made us miserable. hope you had some adequate time to think about what is currently or in the past made you miserable. We're going to move on to the next reflection, which is how can the passion of Christ relieve your misery? So now we want to take a few moments and think about how the passion of Christ can relieve our misery. How he was very miserable and tortured and punished during his passion. How can that, what he went through, make us less miserable, other than the obvious salvation and allowing us to enter into heaven? So here's the quote again: there was no other more suitable way of healing our misery than by the passion of Christ. So take a few moments, think about how the passion of Christ can relieve your current or present or future misery. So take a few moments and think about that question there. All right, I hope you've had adequate time to think about that question. How can the passion of Christ relieve your misery? And now we're going to move on to our Thanksgiving prayer. Almighty and eternal God, I adore thee and I thank thee for all the benefits which thou in thy infinite goodness and mercy has conferred upon me. Next, we have to make our resolution. The resolution is the most important part of a mental prayer or meditation because it's what really makes mental prayer different than vocal prayer. Vocal prayer is any prayer you've ever prayed 9 times out of 10. The Our Father or the Creed or anything like that when you're asking God for something or when you're praying for someone else. All those are vocal prayers, even if you just pray them silently in your mind. The difference of a mental prayer is you're adding a reflection on some topic and you're making a resolution to change your life based on that topic. And mental prayer is more effective than vocal prayer for that very reason, because of the resolution. So right now we're going to make a resolution to avoid envy, because it is easy to feel like, that people have it better, and to make ourselves feel miserable, even though we might have things very good, or maybe we have things very bad, but it's better than it could be. Like, things could definitely be worse. And when we're envious, it makes us feel more miserable. So in the reflection, maybe you found that you're not actually miserable in comparison to a lot of other things that could be going on. You could be dying, you could have some uncurable disease, you could be in pain nonstop. And even if you do have some of those things, there might be some other sliver of hope, silver lining that Christ has provided. So we want to resolve to avoid envy today. And we're going to say our resolution prayer. My God, I offer thee these resolutions. Unless thou deignest to bless them, I cannot be faithful to them. And that is it. Thank you and God bless. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Also go to sdcason.com for these daily meditations. My goal, by the grace of God, is to put up one of these every day and eventually to put up two. Now, I have over 300 Catholic quotes with sources and citations on sdkaysen.com as well, so you can check those out for any of your, I don't know, quote needs. And I also sell prayer books on that website, so check it out, sdkaysen.com. And like I said, my goal, there's only about 5 meditations on there at the time of this recording. My goal is to have a lot more and to be putting them up every day, 2 a day, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Same with the videos. Eventually, I want to be able to make 1 video in the morning and 1 at night, so that you can easily do your mental prayer every day by just following along with this. And that is it for Meditations with Shalom Kaysen for right now. And hopefully I will be able to come back on here later today and do another stream in the evening. In the meantime, in between time, stay holy, my friends, and God love you.